Oh my God. What is going on over
there?
there?
Did he just Sandman it?
Yo!
Kevin, where is your Singapore cane?
Seriously, I didn't know Hardcore Hack was showing up tonight, dude.
Yow!
Oh my goodness. Yes, exactly. Kevin, you can actually say that you are a better wrestler than Sandman.
Oh, come on now.
You've had more starred matches than Sandman.
Oh, come on.
Kevin's
Depends on the opinion, brother.
Kevin's a 5-star worker, man. 5 stars.
Wait,
On a scale of...
What did you just make? Hey everyone, thank you for joining. I'm in my remote location. I'll tell you more about it in a second. But Cowboy Jack is here. Kevin is here. We have a great show for you tonight. Despite me being on location, I don't have my soundboard. I'm out of my element, but I can assure you this is going to be a fantastically awesome show. So let's start from the top. Why don't we do it, huh? Thank you for joining us tonight. Hey everyone, welcome to the weekly Baseball Brew Crew Podcast. We're keeping baseball history alive, one craft beer at a time, wherever you're watching. Give us a like and a follow. Please tell a friend, have them smash that like button. We're trying to get to 1,000 followers. It is a mission that we will hit by the end of the year. Hopefully we can hit it by the summer if there's some heroes out there, but please do that. And if you love beer with your baseball, please tell all of your friends. Well, guess what, guys? We have a special celebration tonight. Why? Because well, besides the lineup card, I'm going to go back to this one, but we have gone 150 weeks straight.
150 weeks straight.
Okay. We've done this show. It ranges from about an hour to an hour and a half. So you can imagine the dedication that takes, right? To put this together every single week. So we have done 150. It's a huge milestone. We're going to Barry Horowitz, pat ourselves on the back for this one. Guys, this is a huge, huge accomplishment. Thank you so much for just being so dedicated to this show and really making it what it is today. Again, we all rushed to back home to do this. And we've done it for 150 weeks, and we're not stopping yet. We're going to do a lot more. Guys, did you have anything to say about that?
I'm blown away that we've been able to pull this off 150 weeks straight without getting kicked off, thrown out, expelled from YouTube. I mean, come on, man. This is this is a big accomplishment. 150 weeks straight, man. New, fresh baseball content for 150 weeks straight. Imagine that.
Yes.
Oh, come on. I've been watching baseball for 150 years. What do you guys got on me? Come on.
The amount of baseball you watch is insane. We're going to touch on that later.
Yes. We have so much to talk about tonight. Everybody, thank you so much for joining the chat. Please chat away in there. It definitely helps us. We'll definitely make mention of it, and we'll definitely respond when we can. But let's go back. And here is the lineup card for today. In the leadoff spot is the Goodwill Ambassador and the Sultan of Swig at the Baseball Brew Crew. It is Cowboy Jack Durango.
Welcome, everyone, to the greatest show on earth. Have no fear. It is I, the Goodwill Ambassador, the Tucson Tornado, the Outlaw Burger, the Rooster. They call me Bro Cephas. Kevin, not only am I number one in fantasy baseball, but I'm number one in your black heart. The World Baseball Cowboy. The best thing to happen to baseball since Trace Thompson. 280 pounds of twisted steel and sex appeal. Boys, I'm shredded like a julienne salad. They call me Charlie Guzzle, the Hop King. It's Cowboy Jack Durango. Welcome to the show. Let's rock and roll.
Wow. My soundboard. I wish I had my soundboard.
Right.
All you got to do, brother, is open the windows and you can hear the people cheering around the world, baby.
Awesome. Well, hitting second is the field correspondent and senior research analyst at the Baseball Brew Crew, Kevin Lyon. Welcome. How you doing, man?
Good. Ow! Jeez, I just got beamed by the next pitch, Jack. Why do you have to be so hard on that pitcher? Goodness gracious! I'm always gonna get hit by a pitch having to follow you hitting a home run out of the park. Man.
Yes. He's a very hard act to follow, Kevin. But
there you go. There. But now he did. Did you see what he did there? He's gonna represent Great Britain. I'll do the moose for Canada.
Yes. Well, my name is Michael Mondragon. I'm your humble host for the festivities tonight. And as you can tell, I'm out of my studio, but I'm on the road. I am in Las Cruces, New Mexico. And what is in Las Cruces, New Mexico? Well, that's right. It is the home of the New Mexico State University Aggies. Okay, so we are actually right down the street. Actually, like if I were to go out the hotel and take a right, I would actually be on the campus. Okay, so the first thing I do in any new city, I always go see, where's the baseball stadium, right? And correspondingly, where are the breweries? Okay, so I always look
in that order.
What is near me? Okay, and usually at the hotel they have like a pretty good selection of craft beer or macro beer for whatever the state is. But okay, this was very interesting. So I looked, and the New Mexico State University Aggies are playing the Ottawa Spirit, who are in the Golden State Athletic Conference, which has 9 teams, including San Diego Christian, Hope International, Jessup University, and Arizona Christian. And there are 2 Ottawa universities, okay? One is in Ottawa, Kansas. And guys, are you ready for this? The other one is in Surprise, Arizona.
Oh, stop.
So, Kevin, surprise.
Ottawa University by way of Phoenix, Arizona. I love it.
By way of what town, Michael?
Surprise, Arizona.
I'm going to surprise you.
I'm not going to make it to 151 if you guys keep doing this. Jeez.
Okay, so the original campus is in Ottawa, Kansas. It was founded in 1865. The second residential campus in Surprise, Kevin, was opened in 2017. And the game started an hour and a half ago at Presley Askew Field. Now, you're going to ask me, wait a minute, you're on the show. Well, I actually caught the first inning of this game. So the Ottawa University, Arizona is actually 10-9-1 overall. The Aggies have not won this year, and they are starting the year with a 13-game losing streak.
Wow.
Okay. The bad news Aggies.
Yes.
Now, wait a second. They're actually in that conference with those teams? That's what I was saying. Because aren't they in like the WAC or something like that?
They are. Nicely done, Kevin. I was going to ask you what they've been multi-champions in the WAC for a long time. And they actually, again, they're 0-13 right now. Hello. Thank you for joining. Stick around. We talk about you. Yes. Okay. So I saw the first and the second inning. I'm sorry. I left in the top of the second because the Aggies actually had 3 home runs, 6 runs, 6 hits, and only 1 error for Arizona. But it's like I walked out. It was 6-0 Aggies as I left. So hopefully they win their first game.
So this is their cupcake game, as they say in college sports. Right on.
It is, and they both teams look really good in warm up. So I don't know how this team was 0-13, but
now did you get a chance to see if there's any beers at that park?
I will reveal that during my
Oh.
craft beer.
Oh.
So yeah, so stick
I'm
around
sorry.
for
I
that.
didn't. I jumped the gun. Wouldn't be the first time I pulled the trigger. I mean,
Well,
what?
Kevin, you bring up something fun. As tradition on the show, we always bring a new and unique craft beer to review and enjoy. So let's see what we are drinking tonight. Kevin, I'm going to start with you.
Never used to going first. See, this is why I get to not be ready. So, while I was out with Cowboy Jack Durango and his lovely family, we were heading back to the lovely town of Peoria, Arizona. When we realized, I said, "Hey, you love the Cactus Tap Room? It's 8:00. Oh, there's no way this will open, right?" He said, and we look it up. They're open until 9, and that's pretty good for a Sunday. Let me tell you, like the hat, Michael Mondragon. So we went to the lovely Cactus Tap Room. Great spot. Glad I don't live there. It'd be like my new Radiant, more or less. They have about 15, 16 things on draft, and then they have like 3 coolers, 3 fridges full of beers. You can get single cans and a 4-pack to go. This is one that Mr. Cowboy Jack recommended, called Spellbinder, by a favorite of ours here at the Baseball Brew Crew, House Brewing out of Phoenix. They also have a location in Prescott. So this is an IPA that comes in at, let me get my numbers here, 7%, so perfect. And you see the award right there. It won the gold medal for the Great American Beer Festival in 2020, and also the Brussels Beer Challenge in 2021, gold medal for hazy/juicy IPA. This is their house hazy IPA, years in the making, pills, malt, oats, and Arizona-grown Sonora white wheat. There we go. And we use all premium Northwest hops, cascade in the Whirlpool, followed by a big mosaic and Citra dry hop. Bright, bold citrus, tropical, soft with restrained bitterness. And let me tell you, this is a heck of a beer. I remember I took this 4-pack home. I'm like, back to Cowboy Jack's. Like, you know what? I'll have one. I'll just have one. Well, Jack had one he'll probably talk about, on his own. Next thing you know, he went to bed, and I'm like, you know what? I got to have one more of these. So I'm like, I only have 2 for the night, brother. So I have a backup. This is a big backup here. I saw this in
Oh, yes.
I got a tall can of Moon Juice by Santan. That's the emergency drink if I really want to not remember the show if it goes badly.
Yeah.
Got that quartzite on the way out because I'm not going to find this anywhere else on the way home.
Yeah. And actually, I'm surprised we didn't see Moon Juice at Chasefield because that's where I first had it.
Yeah.
And if you watch one of our first videos when I went to spring training in Arizona, I talk about Moon Juice IPA. But let's talk about Wren House. Wren House, I would say it would be in our top 3 of breweries in Arizona because they have killed it when it comes to a really great Arizona beer. And again, an award winner, Spellbinder. I want to say that I had this when I was at their brewery. I haven't had it in a can, but you're very lucky to find it at Cactus Tap Room.
Yeah, Wren House is the Radiant of Arizona for sure.
That is awesome.
I'll see if you had it, but you didn't. If you did, you didn't put it on.
I don't think I had it on the show. I think I had it. Yeah,
gotcha.
Probably. If you look down on tap, I might have had it, but
that's what I was looking at. It said friends,
okay.
And you didn't. According to you, haven't checked it in.
Maybe I didn't check it in. Okay, but yeah, this is.
Oh, I don't think I entered because I did have another beer of theirs too on draft. Arizona Lovebirds, I think it was called, is a double. Was it double hazy, Jack? Do you remember?
Yeah, it was a double hazy.
Yes,
Arizona,
double hazy.
It was Wren House, Arizona Lovebirds, double hazy.
Sounded like my kind of thing because I was like, you know what? We're almost safe at home, end of a great weekend. So boom, let's hit it up hard.
Yeah, and I think I had a collab with Wren House, and I'm forgetting the other brewery, but
I know I can't remember either.
Yeah, it was fantastic. So I wanted to.
You ever see him? Get Wren House.
Yeah,
hopefully they get bigger in the grand scheme of things. I don't think you'll be able to find them in California.
Yeah, and this is also something I encourage too. Find them while they're small because they're really like an. I'm going to use a wrestling term here. Like they're indie darlings right now. So when they get to the big show, things might change, but they're really super awesome right now and really a great hidden secret. So definitely seek them out. I wanted to acknowledge Ian here. Yes, we will talk about the WBC after this day in baseball. So stay tuned for that. We definitely will definitely make mention of that. Cowboy Jack, tell us about this great beer that was, I believe, gifted to you by Kevin.
Mhm.
Yeah. So, guys, there's three things that make me love Anaheim, California. Number one, it's home to Gene Autry's Angels, where you can see Shohei Ohtani strike fools out and pop home runs like my main man, Trace Thompson. Number two, the streets are prowled by humanity's apex predator, the Baseball Brew Crew's field correspondent, Mr. Kevin Lyon. And last but not least, it is the home of Radiant Beer Company. Located a mere 10-minute drive from Angels Stadium, this brewery should be a destination for anyone not only visiting Anaheim, but California. Their mantra, sending out light, is so simple, and yet it signifies everything their brand stands for. Their beer is a result of years of experience coupled with genuine passion that you can literally taste with every last drop of beer that they brew. Established in the year of our Lord and Savior Taro 2020 by an amalgamation of craft beer lovers and industry vets with decades of combined experience, Radiant has become not only one of Anaheim's best kept secrets, but this is a bold statement, one of the best breweries in California, hands down. Pound for pound, I would put Radiant up against any brewery in California. I was a non-believer. I'm now a convert. Their 20 taps are regularly changing to showcase their diverse offerings, such as award-winning hazy IPAs, double IPAs, triple IPAs, Pilsners, lagers, barrel-aged beers, fruit sours. They offer beer tasting flights, hard seltzers, soft serve beer, beer slushies, nitro pours, slow pours, hard smoothies, and occasional cask toppings. So, Baseball Brew Crew Brewniverse, if you're visiting the Angels Stadium to see Captain America, Miguel Trucha striking out, swing on into Radiant Beer Company, grab a spot at their bar, and be sure to let them know that the heartthrob of the Heim, Kevin Lyon, sent you.
Well, that's a wonderful plug, and I'll just say I'll probably be sitting 2 chairs down from you when you go inside to say that I sent you. Like, hey, what's up?
Yes, and that's 2 feet away from his cot that he has.
Yes.
There. Yes.
So, Jack, what do you think? So, this beer was made for their 2-year anniversary party. If you look through our archives, you can see Cowboy Jack actually chugged their 1-year anniversary version, similar to this beer. It's a triple IPA coming in at what, Jack? 11.4?
That's an 11.4. Yeah. So lesson learned, boys. If you can't tell, I'm just
Sipsky?
little sipskis throughout the night because this is what we refer to as a night beer.
Yeah,
When this glass is empty, this guy's going to bed. Top notch. It's not as fruity as I would like. It's not a hazy IPA, so you don't get those strong citrus flavors. But this, you guys got to make it out for their next their next anniversary, because when they put out this triple IPA, it's worth the price of admission. They should be nationwide, man. These guys make such good beer. And we did our first live show there. Yep. They're part of the Baseball Brew Crew family. They treat Kevin right on his rent there. I mean, seven nights a week conservatively, you can find Kevin Lyon in Radiant, and
it's in Arizona. I was still there. Even when I was in Arizona, I was still there. I'm sure.
Yes,
in spirit. Hopefully not my deaf spirit. And also, unfortunately, we didn't get a chance to take a photo of this, but I also brought Jack out. What's it called? Where I come from, or where we come from, Jack? Do you know the name of the beer by any chance?
It was Where We Come From.
That's right. So it was a collaboration, a double hazy IPA between Radiant and Jack's other favorite brewery, Topping Alive, Decorah, Iowa. I finally got to bring him some, and Jack, we definitely enjoyed that on Friday night as well.
Oh, Lordy, that not only was that a wonderful experience just sitting down and having that beer with you, but it was, I'm going to say it, it's going to be my beer of the year.
Oh,
right. Hands down. That I love a hazy, I love a hazy IPA. You throw a double IPA, make it hazy, daddy likey. You know what I mean?
You think I would have by now.
Yes. Kevin does have shares in Radiant, but he's accrued them over time. He wasn't an initial investor, but he does have stock in Radiant.
I wish I did. Jeez.
I know.
Right.
Exactly. I miss Kevin as well. So
Oh.
yeah. So but we have plans. We will be traveling around. So we'll be making our rounds. So my beer for tonight is actually very interesting. So the beer that I opened at the top of the show was actually this one is the Riverwalker IPA from Bosque Brewing, 6.5 ABV, 90 IBU. So I actually this is actually walking distance from where I am right now. There's actually a university. It's literally right across the street from the university. If I went to New Mexico State University, that's where I would be doing a lot of my homework. And I probably would flunk out because this beer is absolutely amazing. And I'll just work at Bosque. It's fantastic. And so it says a few things are as uniquely New Mexico as our world-class IPAs. Riverwalker starts with a light copper base of pale caramel and wheat malts, providing a medium-bodied backbone for our flagship IPA. But that's just setting the stage for the hops, where a myriad aromatics and flavors are coaxed out of a blend of our favorite hop varieties. Okay, so this is the one that I wanted to talk about, and I'm actually gonna show some pictures. But when I went to the game, I'm like, is this gonna be my beer for tonight? No, I'm going to the bullpen. This is the beer that was actually at the New Mexico State ball game. This is the Pistol Pete's 1888 by Bosque Brewing, 4.8 ABV, 20 IBU. It is a brilliant, pale, straw-colored ale with a light malt sweetness and just enough late addition hops to add flavor and aromatic nuance. So this, as I looked at the can, it was actually licensed by New Mexico State University.
Oh, cool.
So it was the only beer that was licensed by. So I definitely had to get it. I wish it was had something to do with Pistol Pete Maravich, but it doesn't.
If you were in Louisiana State University, then yes, that would work.
Exactly. So, but I did want to talk about Bosque Brewing for a little bit. This is the tap room that's across the street from the university. It's 901 East University. So right north of the university. They actually have 7 locations.
Yeah, I was just looking at that.
Bernalillo, New Mexico. They have that's where the brewery and tap room is. It's north of Albuquerque. They have 3 locations in Albuquerque, 2 in Las Cruces, and 2 in Restoration Pizza, which is in Albuquerque and Santa Fe.
I figured they have to have a Santa Fe. Yeah. Right on.
Yes. And if you see here, there's one called the Scale Tipper and the Sean John Sweatpants. Yes, I highly recommend both of those.
Did you get to try? You got to try them? You didn't try the chocolate chipotle?
No. There's only so much time in the day.
That sounds a little intense.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad that you got all up in Sean John sweatpants. That's good. That's the right decision.
Yes, and so this is the fun of going out and experiencing all this, trying these new breweries. There's a lot actually in this area. So everything I kept on looking at, I kept on coming back to this because it was centrally located. I'm glad I did because it was baseball related. So there you go. So we brought it all the way around. So definitely check out Bosque Brewing. Yeah. And I'm asking the same thing. Where is Bubble Pug? She needs to be on her. She dropped off a little bit because she had been here her streak got broken. I think she went back to school, I think.
Yeah.
So she'll be here.
Quick question. Do you know why the difference between the beers with like 2 spades as opposed to like 1 or 3? Do you happen to know what that is about? Is it with the percentage?
I actually I tried to figure that out as well. I thought it was because they were hoppier, and it turns out that that's not the case, because the Scale Tipper is not as hoppy as the Sean John. Gotcha. So I'm trying to figure out.
Maybe it's a price. Who knows?
Potentially.
Okay.
Or maybe, yeah, and I was going to say higher ABV. No, that's actually opposite as well. No. So I'm not sure as well. So
okay, I just was curious if you knew.
Yeah, and they actually said the most popular product that they sell is the seltzers.
Oh,
Shocking,
wow.
Right?
Oh, well, being right next to the college. Yeah,
that makes
sense.
total sense. So,
Kids these days.
These kids. Yeah.
These
but
kids
hey,
and their seltzers, dude.
Hey, more craft beer for us, right? All right, so let's do it. This is this day in baseball history for March 14th. Let's get into it. March 14th, 1954, Hank Aaron, filling in for Bobby Thompson, who broke his ankle the day before, starts his first game wearing a Braves uniform. The 20-year-old from Mobile, Alabama, makes such an impression that the club offers him a major league contract after he collects 3 hits, including a home run in the spring training game against the Red Sox. Now, this is kind of interesting because in our World Baseball Classic talk, there was actually a pitcher who struck out like Juan Soto and a couple other high prominent pitchers actually got a contract through that. So
yeah, someone on the Nicaragua team, he got signed by the Tigers.
There you go. So it happens, and it happened in 54 for Hank Aaron, and who knows, that guy could have a long career. But
I mean, I might have known something happened to Mr. Thompson. I mean, we're past that. I'm okay to say that now, right?
yes, it's a safe space, Kevin. You can go for it.
I mean, I'm just saying, I didn't kill the guy. I mean, I didn't do anything. Sorry, too soon.
Kevin.
Wow.
We're live, pal.
We're live, pal. 150 episodes.
That's okay. It's rating.
We're not making 151 if I keep making up crimes like this.
That's okay. That's definitely ratings. March 14th, 1993, the Reds announced the Reds announced Reds president Marge Schott's St. Bernard is being prohibited access to the Riverfront Stadium field for the season. The mandate to ban Shotzi 2 comes from Major League Baseball's Executive Council, which has received numerous complaints from the players about the dogs running on the field.
Oh my gosh. But just look at that. God, to Robert. I want to know who Robert is. She loves him. She loves him. I wish it said to Cowboy Jack.
Yeah. That signature, I always have to remind myself that is a paw.
Yes.
And not what you think.
Whoa, hey now.
Yeah. Marge Schott knew how to sign a paper, dude.
Now, guys, is this where you want to announce a future segment?
Yes. I would love that. Next week, right here on the flagship Baseball Brew Crew, we will be doing a deep dive, hazy history into the Lady in Red, Marge Schott.
I want to call it the Lady in Blood Red, personally. We'll leave that up to you, how you feel about that, Mr. Durango.
It's all smoke and mirrors. More smoke than mirrors, but
a lot of smoke.
A lot of broken mirrors too.
Yeah, broken. Yeah, because she doesn't want those players look in themselves with their earrings and their maybe facial hair. Oh, sorry, we're already going into
K-Fizzle.
Yeah, you're getting ahead of yourself.
That's right.
All right.
Jack will remember that I talked about this next week. It's fine.
All right. March 14th, 1994, Michael Jordan gets his first spring training hit, a single off the Mets' Jeff Innes.
Oh, that's right.
The hit happens to come on the same day he appears on the cover of Sports Illustrated. As legend has it, Michael Jordan never spoke to Sports Illustrated again after this cover.
Wow. With good reason, dude. With good reason.
My face lit up because I was thinking it was going to be something else. But if you go through our archives, we actually talked to Oakland Athletics current pitching coach, Scott Emerson, and he actually gave up Michael's first hit, but it was in an exhibition game.
Yes.
And if you look through and find the interview, he does talk about facing Michael Jordan.
Yes. Yeah. So I thought this was a good one, and it was. I can't believe that this was 30 years ago.
Hey, can I say something to Michael Jordan?
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
Exactly.
Come on.
Yeah. March 14th, 2003, baseball suspends Montreal outfielder Vladimir Guerrero Sr. for 3 regular season games, and Marlins starter Brad Penny for 5 after igniting an exhibition game bench clearing brawl earlier in the week. Can you imagine getting a brawl in spring training?
Well, I think that's the appropriate time. That way, you're not bringing drama into the main season, dude. Just get it out of the way, dude. Get it out of the way.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
It seems to reason that this kind of stems back to something that was a previous thing, and that happens a lot. And actually, this kind of leads into something that we'll talk about later in the episode. But baseball things seem to linger. Remember,
we talked about Ryan Ventura. It wasn't Robin Ventura, but it was just the team having a grudge against Nolan. For getting that Graybeck. Is that his name? Yeah,
yes.
Remember?
Yeah.
Yes, Graybeck.
And we talked about when Bob Gibson and Pete Lecoq, he beamed him in like an old timers game. Like he says, like you don't hit a home run off me.
Nope.
Yeah. Oh, okay, Ian. Thank you for bringing this up. So the Montreal, I wish I could show this. It's actually an M. If you look at it, it looks like ELB, but it's actually an M. So it's a 3-color M. And it's the Montreal. So the one on the helmet is the one I'm talking about.
Right.
So I used to draw that logo a lot because it was actually one of the first logos that inspired me to actually draw. I'm like, oh my gosh, like it looks like ELB, but it's actually an M. And so I used to hand draw that as a kid, and it actually started my passion for branding and logos. And I used to draw logos. And actually, when I was, I would say like 12 or 13, I used to sell hand-drawn logos in a baseball card store so I could buy baseball cards.
Wow.
So it actually inspired me. So the fact that it's it's actually a really amazing logo, and the color scheme and everything is so cool. And so there you go. So I taught you something. So there you go. And yeah.
This whole empire, dude, the crown jewel of craft beer and baseball, this podcast can be traced all the way back to the Montreal Expos logo.
It's definitely one of my inspirations. I mean, there's so many logos, and actually I should do like a whole show on all the logos that inspired me. Like there was the Pirates logo during the 70s. There was actually a really cool Phillies logo that inspired me. So I'll definitely, I should do a video on that because it made me a 30-year graphic designer. And back in the days when you actually had to do mechanicals and hand drawing for that kind of stuff. So,
right.
And again, I love the Florida Marlins as I look at the Marlins, and it isn't Florida anymore. It's the Miami Marlins. So, so thank you so much for that, for making mention of that.
So you got the opposite of the Montreal screw job out of this. That's good.
I don't know. It's graphic design is each year is a screw job. You have to find your way within it. You definitely have to reinvent yourself.
And Cowboy Jack, I got to ask, it looks like Brad Penny's been in quite a few fisticuffs over the years. Did you ever, were you one of his, did you get into a bar and brawl with this guy? Looks like you would have.
I quite possibly. There's periods of my life that are quite hazy, as it were. So there's a good chance that me and old road dog Jesse James over there tangled up, man. I might have chewed some of the same dirt.
Awesome.
Oh yeah, no, that guy definitely believes in corporal punishment for his children. Like, that's the first thing that comes to mind. Is like, yeah, dude, his kids have a paddle with their initials like embroidered into it, dude.
Yeah.
Well, as a mandated reporter, I hope that's speculation on your part, sir.
Yes. I have a feeling you're not going to take away his guns.
Yes, dude. Yes. Yeah, dude. He's very passionate about my rights, dude.
Well, moving on. Well, get your beers ready for this next story. That's right. March 14th, 2003, Bob Uecker, the Brewers TV radio play-by-play announcer is chosen for induction into the Broadcasters Wing of the Hall of Fame, the recipient of the Ford C. Frick Award. The 68-year-old former backup catcher, a member of Milwaukee's broadcast crew since 1971, is best known for his humor he has brought to the game through his starring role in cult movie, a documentary, as Cowboy Jack says, Major League, and multiple Miller Lite beer commercials. So salute to Bob Uecker.
Dude, drink one down for a real one, man. Nobody realer than Bob friggin' Uecker.
Michael?
Yes, sir.
I thought that's the dad from Mr. Belvedere. He was in baseball.
Yes, he had a very short
brief stint, dude. He had a cup of coffee in baseball, brother.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yes,
dude. What just like young looking and vibrant and handsome, like Bob Uecker didn't do too great in the field, and so he still had such a passion for baseball. He still made a career out of baseball. You know what I mean?
And he's still going. You said he was 68 then.
Yeah.
In 2000, so he's 88 and still going. Man, you know what? He might get to my age someday.
Well, and this will be his 53rd year, second year,
something like that.
53rd year, yeah.
Something like
that's crazy with the Brewers. I mean, like again, definitely a Brewer legend, to say the least.
Dude, the man's he should be like, why haven't we recognized him as a national treasure yet?
Yeah, he's there.
Isn't he? He didn't make it in?
No, like I'm talking nationwide, not just
talking about a diamond icon. I'm like, isn't he a diamond icon?
Yeah, no, this guy is. He should you should go see the Grand Canyon, the Statue of Liberty, whatever, and Bob friggin' Uecker.
There you go. That's number one on my list.
Well, Jack, if you go back into the archives, I actually did 2 videos on Milwaukee, and literally, if you go the way that Uecker's facing, which is away from the field, if you go straight up, there's actually a statue at the very top of the stadium behind a post that actually you can't, if you sit in the seat next to him, you can't see around this post, and it's dedicated to Bob Uecker.
Yeah.
So
and that's like I think you make a donation to charity, you can get a photo with the statue.
Yep.
Because I mean, if nowadays people might not know what the commercials. It's mocking a commercial where he was coming down and he's like, "Oh, I got a ticket in the front row," and it's like, "Hey, buddy, come on, you got to come with me." Oh, that's what it was. He sat down. The usher's like, "Come on, come with me."
In the front row.
And then you look and he's at the very top.
Yeah, very top
of the stadium.
Wow.
He missed the tag. He missed the tag.
Yeah, it's fantastic. Definitely one of those things you should definitely
check out. You can
find
that on YouTube easily if you've never seen it.
For
definitely
sure,
a classic commercial from I want to say 84, 85, something like that.
Yeah. All right, so let's end with this one. So March 14th, 2008, the Padres' new left-hander starter, Randy Wolf, struggles in a 6-2 spring training exhibition loss to the Brewers in Peoria, Arizona. The pitcher's brother, Jim, isn't much help as the home plate umpire. An occurrence not allowed during a regular season game and marking the only time it has ever happened when the San Diego Hurler gives up 3 runs in 4 innings. Wow. Isn't that amazing?
Are you sure they're brothers? Look at the umpire's ears. I mean, come on.
Exactly. Jeez. Well, he's a little bit more grizzled here.
Yeah.
What a wild. That's an insane story. I mean, just only in baseball.
Yeah, totally. I mean, there's other times. I mean, I'm trying to think of like a football or basketball, but like in baseball, this seems like this could happen. Like siblings playing together, father-son combinations, right. Still playing. It's very unique. Baseball is very unique in that way. Yes, is that Gene?
Yeah.
Solid, dude. Solid Parabellum. Well done.
Thank you.
Well, I think this picture, the one on the left is actually more current than the picture from 2008 for Randy Wolf here. So, but Randy Wolf has been around for quite a while as an umpire. So, yes. What about Dusty Dale? Yes. From the Job Squad. Yeah, for definitely. That's a good one. That's a good one. Okay, guys. So
I've done a show with Dusty Wolf.
Have you really?
What part of the world?
Arizona, baby.
Oh, it was Arizona. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's awesome. That's awesome. We'll definitely talk about that more later.
That's the most obscure wrestler I've ever worked on a show with.
That would
awesome.
actually maybe known to us.
Right. Ox Baker,
maybe. On
maybe.
TV?
I did a show with Ox Baker. Yeah.
What?
Wow.
What?
That's
Wow.
probably the most obscure.
That's fantastic. Love it.
Was
that in Arizona too?
That was in Douglas, Arizona, dude. It was a Ted DiBiase show.
I'm gonna have to tell. I'm gonna definitely have to pass that along to a couple of friends of ours who will definitely be excited about that.
Parabellum, I got real used to looking up at the lights, so the answer would be no.
Is there really any losing in professional wrestling?
You're
I think
right.
like it's always like every time you do it, you win. So like
I mean, it depends on your brain cells later, right? Right, Jack?
Well, that's it. Yeah, later, yes. The CTE is definitely the what? Huh?
What?
Are you guys talking to me? Hey
Bob
guys,
Bob Uecker was in baseball
for a little while.
What?
For a little while. Check him out on YouTube. He's on Johnny Carson quite a bit.
All right.
Guys, we had a really great weekend last weekend, and we all got to catch some really great baseball, and it was for the World Baseball Classic. It was March 11th through 15th at Chase Field, and we all got together and really saw not only some spirited baseball, but some bonding baseball. And these were all the games. Now, Cowboy Jack, myself, let me back up. So I only saw Saturday, but Kevin, you went to Sunday and games on Monday.
I went
correct?
to the afternoon game on Sunday and Monday. Yes. So
Wow.
I did 4. I did 4 out of 6.
I
couldn't get in that Mexico-US game. Tickets were getting up to like $400 or something like that. I'm like,
Wow.
oh, forget that.
Yeah.
I chose to hang out with Cowboy Jack and his family. Sorry, Jack.
No worries. I'm gonna go back a day. On Friday, Kevin drove from Anaheim, California to Phoenix, Arizona, and
Peoria,
Arizona, and went to 2 games Friday, 2 Saturday, 1 Sunday, 1 Monday. That's a road dog, dude. Mad respect.
Totally.
I'm no Brad Penny, but I can be a road dog. Yeah.
Yes. Oh, and yes, Uecker still looking.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was in
Chad, well
WrestleMania
done.
3 and 4, but 3 was his best appearance for sure. Actually, I think he was looking for Vanna White in 4 because remember he actually left the booth to go find a Fabulous Moolah.
Oh gosh, I forgot about Moolah.
in 3. I
got my Moolah.
That's how old I am. I actually remember that. So guys, like the cool thing about going to these games now, Kevin and I have gone to other World Baseball Classic.
Mm-hmm.
We went to the one in San Diego. We saw the Adam Jones amazing catch.
Yes.
We went, and then they had like the finals at Dodger Stadium. And I actually went to the 2009 final against Korea and Japan. Again, these are so awesome because they have just a definitely a different feel. And these were our seat. I technically these were our seats, but we could have sat anywhere. But we decided
not on that lower level there, sir.
Not in the lower level, but we
can go. Yeah,
this is where we love to sit because we can see the whole field. We can stretch out, we can talk, and we can have fun. And but these are I mean such bonding games. And later on, well, this is when we first started out. We actually went around. We got to sample all the different varieties of things at the game. Actually, when I first got to it was the Mexico-Colombia game. There was an hour line to get in. I'm like, oh my goodness! Like it's not like this at Chase Field ever. So
no. Dude, I went to the Cubbies are a big deal here, and I went to a Diamondbacks Cubbies game, and I walked right in. Like, that never happens, man.
Yeah, totally. So we definitely checked out, like, we took that time to like walk around and see things. And then we just took it all in. We didn't put any pressure on ourselves. And then we let the lines die down a little bit. We just got right in.
I mean, and luckily for me, I got there a little later. So by the time I met up, we might have gotten a line that someone made up, because we see like hundreds of, if not 1,000 people waiting to get in line, and someone we were inside in like 10 minutes. I'm like, all right, let's just go with it. And we were in, and that Colombia Mexico game was a heck of a game. Colombia won, I think 5-4.
That's right.
In 10 innings, because they do the ghost runner rule as well, unfortunately. But a real fun atmosphere. If you get a chance to watch a game like that, the Mexico game's been exciting. Like, people are really loving it.
Yes, totally. Thank you for joining, John. I appreciate that very much. Yeah, and thank you so much, Ian. We actually, and when in between games, we met up with Cowboy Jack Durango at Huss Brewing, which is actually walking distance from Chase Field. I had never been there. You had been here, right, Kevin?
No, actually, I hadn't. I just happened to just look up what the nearest brewery was, and this is it. I'm like, oh, perfect, it's Huss. I've been to Huss. Jack, you haven't been to Huss at all, have you?
I've never been to a Huss. It's one of the bigger boys in town. I've had a lot of Huss beer.
Yeah. I think I had one before.
They make really, really great beer. But I've never made the trip down there, and I'm so glad I did. I mean, we got to meet a very interesting person. I got to have a couple beer skis with my brothers before a game, dude. It was solid time down there.
Jack, do we tell that story?
We do tell that story as we're sitting right after we took this photo. We're commiserating, we're fellowshipping, we're talking.
I mean, Jack's is being the full-on Goodwill ambassador of the Baseball Brew Crew.
I'm Goodwill ambassadoring, and I struck up a conversation with the gentleman next to us because he had on a Boston shirt, Boston Red Sox. Well, Boston Red Sox suck. We don't like them. We're not fans. So I started heckling him a little bit, giving him a little bit of the business. And man, he stayed right in there and started coming back. And through the conversation, he let us know that since 1980, he's been at every Cooperstown, never missed one.
Yeah, he went to the Hall of Fame induction. And me, because I'm Rain Man, he said 1980. I'm like, oh, because one of my favorite players, maybe my favorite player growing up was a guy named Duke Snider, played on the Brooklyn Dodgers, LA Dodgers. And I'm like, oh yeah, 1980. That was the year that Duke Snider went in. And then he said, well, a highlight of that weekend was Cowboy Jack.
I peed in the urinal right next to Duke Snider.
Wow.
That was the man's baseball story, and what a great baseball story.
That's it. It doesn't get any better than that.
Yeah. So
he's been going every year since 1980 to the induction. So that's 40 plus.
That's at
years.
least 10 years, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. And is it normal for breweries to be placed next?
They sure try to.
Yeah,
it's a good business move.
Exactly. So, and I didn't even know about it. So the fact that Kevin found it was actually very interesting. I know in San Diego, there's a whole bunch of them like littered around.
Like if you go to Petco, literally outside one of the gates, there is actually a stone location like right there. And so, there's a couple exceptions, like but the way Dodger Stadium is on a hill. There's not going to be something that close, but there's a couple bars within, like, I want to say, like, what, 3/4 of a mile or so? But if you're walking, you have to walk up that steep hill.
Yeah, it's about a mile walking. Yeah, for sure.
But almost everything else, from the ones I've been to, there is if not a brewery, there's definitely like a good bar close by. I can find something good to drink.
Yeah,
because it's a great business spot for them, and also for any basketball fans, the Phoenix Suns arena is literally like a block away from Chase Field too. Which that made it interesting too, because there was we went Saturday night, and also there's a Suns games at Saturday night as well. Right. So it was hopping.
Yeah.
And at Parabellum, the baseball stadium is directly downtown, and downtown Phoenix is kind of the hot spot. So you've got all the cool restaurants, a lot of breweries down there. They built downtown basically around that stadium, and so you've got amazing options just you walk 12 minutes and you're going to be at the best breweries, the best restaurants in town. So
yeah, like Seattle has a whole bunch of like breweries around there. Colorado, Oakland, not so much.
Pittsburgh has a couple across the street.
Pittsburgh, Boston, New York, not so much, but there's always places.
Guaranteed rate field where the White Sox play. No, that's one of the only ones.
No,
I really
but inside they have like great ones, right?
Oh yeah, for sure. Wrigley, I don't know if there's a brewery, but there's plenty of little like local spots.
Right. It's a lot of like pub, like tap rooms and stuff like that for sure. And so we met up with our friends Alan Jepson and Shane Barclay, and from Japan Ball. So Shane actually works for the World Baseball Classic. Alan was on a super like nerdy trip.
He's still there.
He's still here. I think he's here for another 2 days.
Oh, he's actually. Did you get to see? Did he reach out to you today? Because he went to Peoria earlier today, Jack.
He did not. He did not.
Oh,
he knew I was working. So
yeah, of course.
Yeah. So it was great to see both of our good friends of the show and good friends just in general. I mean, these guys are super, super sweethearts. And anytime that we can go out and meet with them. And I love, we will definitely make the time to do it. I love Ellen's shirt, Baseball Bucket List, new friends. I'm going to Houston. They're actually, Baseball Bucket List is actually out of the Dallas, Arlington area.
Yes.
So definitely check them out. It's sad to see that the USA beat Canada pretty bad yesterday, but
this whole pool has been just like a wave, like of ups and downs. It's like it hasn't been very predictable so far.
Not at all. Like just when you think like the USA is like out of it, they don't care. They win by a lot. And
they just destroy Canada after they had trouble Great Britain for half a game, and then they get destroyed by Mexico. But like I said, I saw Mexico lose to. We saw them lose to Colombia. It's like,
they didn't play well.
I saw Colombia lose to Great Britain. Like what?
Well, let's talk about
before we move on, I just want to say go back in our archives for any new viewers, listeners, and check out the interviews that this show has done with Shane from Japan Ball. Super interesting stuff, super charismatic, nice guy. And we've also done, I think, 2 to 3 Hoppy Hour specialty shows with the big hurt Alan Jepson. Great friends of the show. They're great. Dude, please go back, watch those episodes because they're great guys.
Yeah.
And I'll add our last interview was actually with Anna from Baseball Bucket List along with Shane. So it's just everyone's coming together.
Yeah, and so we this was us at the USA Great Britain game, and my brother Adam showed up. Poor decisions. He was in
Poor decisions, dude. Adam Mondragon. Let me just tell you. So I'm a little Rocky Mountain High, just up in the stadium, just enjoying the baseball with my 2 brothers. We're having a good time, and Poor Decisions, who I've never met face to face. This dude that's sleeved up tattoos with the necklace on, the chest tats, comes storming up the stairs, and he's like, "Hey, you're in my seat. Get out of my seat." And I was like, I'm because I and then he just starts, he does the wah, and it all falls into place. Like, good dude, the good brother shows up, man. I thought I was going to get beat up. Luckily, made a new friend. How you doing?
Yeah, Adam.
I saw the glow on your face, Michael, as Adam was up the stairs. I'm like, oh, it's almost like you gave me the little Iggy. I'm like, I think I know what's about to happen. I'm like, all right, I'm ready. And every time he looked at me, he goes, "Wow!" I'm like, well, I definitely know who I am. Well, I look like a mini in this photo.
You
actually look like, right? Yeah.
You're in
am I standing or am I? Oh no, I'm sitting on the chair. That makes me look even smaller.
You're in the land of giants for sure.
Jeez.
So I actually was born in Phoenix, Arizona, John C. Lincoln Hospital for those who care. And I actually moved to LA in '97. And so growing up in Arizona, there's a thing called, well, they now call them a haboob. But it's actually, the the windstorm, the dust storm that comes through.
Yeah, it's a dust devil. It's a dust storm.
The dust devil. That's right, dust devil. So when I saw Adam walking up the stairs, I just braced because I knew what was coming. And
dude, he came up the stairs like the Tasmanian devil, like he was doing tornadoes, and I was like, this guy's gonna punch me in the face, right? And he put on like the tough guy voice, and I'm like, oh, I don't want to get stabbed tonight. Like, it would be just my luck to be like dialing the wife, just like, babe, can you come get me from the hospital? I got stabbed. I was in this guy's seat apparently. How you doing?
Yes, and Ed's met him at a formal event.
I don't remember that formal event. I might have met him in past, but I don't remember that event.
No, that
I don't remember much of that night.
Yeah,
maybe fortunately,
yeah.
Ed had to drive me home that night. It was rough.
Yeah, my mind's a little unclear of what that event was as well.
Going back to this game,
yes.
like this was my first baseball experience. Go ahead, Kevin.
I'm sorry to pause, but this is before the game you didn't see, Jack. So this is Colombia against Mexico City, and we joked that why is that guy wearing a helmet? You would think his hair is going to be enough to be sufficient to protect him from anything that's going to come his way.
Yeah, no, it's cool to see Jason Momoa branching out and playing some baseball, dude. I like it. But yeah, the USA Great Britain game, dude. Guys, this was the first time I've got to experience live baseball with Kevin. The first time I've got to experience live baseball with Michael and Kevin together.
Right.
And it's a trip, dude. Like I was just I kept saying like, this is Trekkies for baseball because and that's a compliment because the level of fandom that you guys have for baseball is such a beautiful, pure love. And to be able to not only experience it through your eyes, but firsthand.
Wait a minute.
That ranks up, dude. That ranks up there with one of my favorite nights of my life. It's just such an amazing, beautiful experience. So thank you so much for including me in that.
Oh, thank you.
It makes me more of a baseball fan to just experience that love of that pure love of baseball. And it couldn't have done it with better guys. Well, so cheers,
Jack,
brothers.
Thank you.
Jack, I got to add, I know you were marveling at watching Michael and Big Her, Alan Jepson were just, they like, you wouldn't even know they're watching the game. They're just like, you could just see them just talking and having a real time, just talking ball.
They were talking constantly the entire game about other baseball games, but at any point in the game, they would just do a quick breakaway like, oh, 3 RBIs, huh? Right on. And just they'd go right back into it. Like, Michael's there with Poor Decision, his brother, and he's at the same time catching up like, oh, how are the kids? Okay, cool. Kids are good, right? No, 2 RBIs. Wow, this is a game. Anyways, Alan, so in 1974, like, it was beautiful to witness. I just sat back and marveled. Like, dude, I'm so much more of a baseball fan after this week. And I'm to the point now where I was listening to a baseball game today at the gym, listening to a game.
So
finally.
So those of you who if you have there's something that I don't know if Michael turned on to me or not, but there's a YouTube channel called Classic Baseball on the Radio. And literally they have like radio broadcasts going back to like the 1930s. They have like, I want to say, I don't know how many games, but I'm sure it's like 1,000.
It's fantastic.
Like I did the very first All-Star game in 1933. So, that was like, it was like home. It was just like younger days.
Yep.
Back in my 80s.
Yeah.
But still, besides the point, but it was just, it's a great thing. And I turned Jack onto it. Jack's actually listening to the games now. Look what I turned him into. But I can tell you this much, if you're going to go to these games, don't be in a rush because almost every one of these games would take it is definitely longer than a Major League Baseball game. And I think it's partially because there's a restriction on the amount of pitches guys can throw. If you look at the rosters, there's something like 15 pitchers on each team, something like that. It's crazy. Right.
And that was Shane's job during this World Baseball Classic. So he was working for them. He actually had to calculate pitch counts. He actually had to make sure that different things on the field were the angle of the mound and different things like that. And he actually had to do a lot of stat keeping. So that was his job for this tournament. And that is super cool. And we were looking at this, Trace Thompson, a hero for Great Britain.
Michael,
yes.
Did you know that he's a longtime close personal friend of mine?
I did not know that.
I met him the same time. I met him the same day I met my other great friend on Team USA, Nolan Arenado.
No,
I met him once for 5 minutes, so friends forever.
You're on the Christmas card list.
Of course.
Trace Thompson, one of my I got two new favorite baseball players. Randy, I can't pronounce his last name.
Arozarena.
Andy Arozarena, Randy Arozarena, and Trace bleeping Thompson.
I was dropping F-bombs for this guy.
The king, dude. The king of home runs.
Oh, good. I'm glad you have that because they definitely did that.
Yeah. I mean, and this is the fun of it too. So they're playing under like 2022 rules. So it's like no pitch clock. You can actually there's a pitcher that you saw, Kevin, that was like had this crazy windup that would be totally illegal this year.
Yeah, it was just like he's literally like doing like faking out, like he's getting ready to start. I'm like, what are you doing, man?
So crazy.
And I do have to say that I have been through a pretty nasty child custody case back in my day, long ago, and this game Saturday night was longer than that. It was a long game, and I think I saw like 74 different pitchers for like combined. It was
I love it.
Awesome.
I love it.
Awesome.
So it was a long night of baseball, but what a spectacular
more time for us to hang out together. Right?
And mind you, that was 9 innings. I went to Great Britain against Canada on Sunday that went 7, and it went like 4 hours.
Yeah.
Right.
That's just crazy. And Cowboy Jack, I'm going to test your memory. We're talking about Trace Thompson, who's affiliated with the Dodgers. His father is – so the reason I got on this team, and just to make sure people don't know, the standards of this is you would hear like Trace Thompson. Is he from Great Britain? No. But the rule is if you have a parent who is from that country, or in this case, his father is former Laker Michael Thompson, who was born in the Bahamas, and that's part of the Great Britain Empire.
Wow.
So that's how he got on this team. Cowboy Jack Durango, do you remember?
Yes, sir.
All right, Trace Thompson's brother. Come on.
NBA superstar Klay Thompson, baby.
Good job remembering that. All right.
Yep.
There's a lot of other fun ones like that where it's just like, wait, what?
Yeah, there was like the Eastern European electrician that was like throwing pitches. Like, it's great.
So I'm sorry, we're gonna go on these crazy sidebars. If you can look up some of these stories, but there was a guy on the Czech Republic who's an electrician, and he struck out Ohtani in the game against Japan. It's crazy, some of these stories. Oh, here you go. Oh, look, there's Stone Cold.
I love with all these characters. That's who you saw first.
I mean, whatever.
Yeah, but that's the fun of this. It became this whole like it's bigger. It's bigger than a regular season game in April. It's like there's a lot of pageantry, a lot of fun stuff, and all this, and people dressing up. And definitely,
bro, I've never seen people happier than the fans of Team Mexico when Mexico put a shellacking on Mike Trout and Team USA. Those fans were having the time of their lives.
Oh, yeah.
Exactly. Parabellum. I mean, he's going to take my job.
So what's interesting too, though, is you see like these guys able to do these get-ups, and you would hear people were able to bring like drums and things like that. And that's great. They can do this here because you can't do that in Major League Baseball games.
Right.
You couldn't do that stuff. That's what makes this so much more fun. It's a shame we can't. Well, even if we allowed that, I doubt anybody's be doing that kind of stuff in Major League Baseball games. You know what? The Thundersticks? Come on.
Yeah,
guys, I was so excited to see Mike Trout Saturday night, and then man, I was more disappointed than my wife on her wedding night, dude. That was right.
Wait,
very
Wait, which marriage? The first one or the second one?
Oh,
no! Oh, no! Where's the buzzer?
Dude, I was severely underwhelmed.
I'll do the buzzer for you.
Mike Trout, Paul Goldschmidt, who's well past his prime, was killing it out there. But Captain America Mike Trout was a letdown for old Cowboy Jack. You know.
By the way, Kevin was saying like, "Oh, Schwarber, all he does is strike out." Then I said, "I go, all he does is hit home runs," and he hit a home run right here.
Right. Nice.
Mike Trout did nothing. Did nothing. But yeah, if you get a chance, if you want a great baseball experience, you should definitely go check it out. And they'll be back again in 2027. Who knows where it's going to be, but it's so much fun. Yeah, Trout had a great game yesterday. I know Captain America came through finally. It only took him 3 games, Yeah. And I think are they playing Columbia tonight or is it tomorrow? I might be going on right now. I think it's tomorrow. It's tomorrow. I think
that's a very good question. I'm actually not sure.
And all these every game's important now. I don't even know the scores of the games earlier today, but because on Monday, Great Britain upset Colombia, it's totally wide open right now. It's kind of crazy how this worked out. Thank you, Ian.
Guys, I on the bottom of my heart, I did want to tell you both. This weekend just made me such a bigger fan of baseball, getting to experience it with you two. I ended my weekend out on the patio with lights going and just having a beer with Kevin and listening to Team USA versus Team Mexico. And it was such a beautiful weekend. I'll always remember it as one of the best weekends of my life. Guys, thank you so much for giving me the gift of being a baseball fanatic. Thank you. Cheers to you.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. And like when we looked at this schedule, we're just like, oh, we got to do this. This looks fun.
Yeah.
And definitely we're really glad that you got to enjoy it with us and kind of see how we nerd out when it comes to all this stuff. And then
I'm for it, man. I'm here for it. I can't wait for more of it. So thank you.
Awesome.
It's so much fun just to see too, because like the crazy thing that happened to me was I mentioned to you guys, but I'll tell everyone watching. Someone I used to work with when I was going to college was there because her cousin is pitching on Great Britain. And he's like a 36-year-old guy. He's been on the national team for Great Britain for like almost a decade. He has not played pro ball in like at least 7 or 8 years. He last played in Brisbane, Australia in the pros. How about that? So I got to connect with them, just, hang out with a family and sitting in a Great Britain section where literally like a pitcher comes in. I see these 2 parents like so freaking out that he's coming in. And that guy ended up actually getting the win for the Great Britain game.
Oh,
yesterday.
no kidding.
How about that? Yeah. So I was like, it's just exciting to see like this moment would happen. Like these guys this is like their big moment. It's, they get to play against some of the best players in the world.
Right.
Fantastic.
Right. And then on the other side of that, the Canada had that 19-year-old pitcher who didn't make it through like the first inning, but faced one of the toughest lineups that he's probably ever faced. But like he's going to be a great pitcher, but it's like trial by fire. It's like one day we're going to look back at that. It's like this guy was like either amazing or just fell off, but it's like he got that chance.
Yeah, he's either going to make it to the show or Kevin and I will cover him on Hazy History in 10 years.
Oh, wow. That's cool. That's cool. We're going to get games in Australia next year. That's really cool.
That'd be amazing.
That's
amazing.
But I mean, if you're going to send 2 teams to Australia, dude, come on now.
Well,
send
the
criminals, dude, the Dodgers, the Raiders of baseball. Dude.
Wow.
And the Diamondbacks.
I think there were more Dodger jerseys than USA jerseys.
That's very true.
Oh, we're a Doyer town for reals, man.
That's very true. Well, guys,
I was going to say, if you're ever out there too, just take a couple days. If you don't have a favorite team, if you're there during the week, it's more optimal. You can just go check out a game a day in different areas throughout Phoenix. It's so beautiful in Marge in Phoenix. I didn't realize how nice it was going to be out there.
Yeah, but I will give you a heads up. If you're going to go, get your hotels in advance because it is very difficult. We found that out the hard way
Yeah.
that it's very difficult to get because it's spring and it's tourist season. Everybody loves to get that. So the rates are higher. So definitely get your hotels in advance or stay with Cowboy Jack.
There you go.
I did that.
Yeah, use the
Cowboy Jack. Just do the spot. Did I tip my hat to you? Oh,
wait. What is Kevin? Wait, what's going on?
What?
Tip your hat again.
It's crazy. It's crazy hair day at work. I'm sorry.
Oh no.
Kevin, are you a big fan of Debrat?
Yes. Yep.
Wow. Welcome to episode 150 where Kevin Lyon cosplays as Debrat.
That's actually a dated reference. I can't believe it. That's awesome. I love it.
Hey, for the Bruniverse, dude, hashtag do the research.
I need to do the research too.
Yeah, you blew everybody's mind on that one.
I know. I didn't have time to watch this out. I'm like, you know what? I'll know it at some point. You can't probably see what they did. Man, I'm like, you know what's crazy hair day?
Brother,
I literally got back. I got back at 11:30 our time last night for driving from Phoenix. I'm like, oh gosh, this is gonna be a long day. I'm like, yeah, it's crazy hair day. Sure, shoot some green spray, put my hair up. I don't care. So we get through it. Because I knew it'd be worth it to come home and do this show.
Yes.
Brother, they always say you can't improve on perfection, but I think you just did it. Make that your everyday fit, baby.
Well, guys, I want to close out this show with a segment that, again, it's not my favorite segment, but it is a segment where we get to learn about someone who's unfortunately passed away, but we get to celebrate their long, illustrious life in baseball. So let's definitely celebrate Joe Pepitone, who just died yesterday. Kevin, am I correct?
I believe
on that?
It was yesterday. Yes. Yeah, I believe.
Yeah.
It was yesterday.
So the Cubs. Actually, let me go through his. So he played with the New York Yankees from 62 to 69, the Astros in 1970, the Chicago Cubs from 70 to 73. He actually played on the Atlanta Braves in 73. And there's another team he played for in 73.
Oh, yes.
I will actually make mention of his 73, but I actually wanted to show basically one reason why he is definitely remembered, and it's his hair. He definitely had some amazing hair of the time, known for his and again, I'm not sure. I'm sure the one on the left is real. I'm sure the one in the middle is real. I'm not too sure about the one on the right.
No, I think
he's in witness protection.
Yeah.
Sorry.
He just stepped off the motorcycle. That's
exactly
his helmet, dude.
Just
he
like Kevin's hair.
Right.
Just like Kevin's hair for sure.
Oh yeah.
But okay, so he actually played in 1973 for the Yakult Adams, and there's actually a fun story that actually came about of it. So the Cubs traded for Joe Pepitone to the Atlanta Braves for Andre Thornton and cash considerations on May 19th, 1973. He played in only 3 games after announced his intention to retire. He then announced his intention to continue his career in Japan. In June of 1973, Pepitone accepted an offer for $70,000 to play for the Yakult Adams in the Nippon Professional League's Central League.
Mm-hmm.
In July, he returned to the United States. Okay.
Wait, what?
So let's go back to
sending that up there.
Let's go back to what happened in Japan. Well, he hit 163 with 1 home run and 2 RBIs in 14 games played. Pepitone spent his days in Japan skipping games for claimed injuries, only to be. But it was turned out he was going to discos. And behavior.
Dude, good brother was rocking in Roppongi.
Yes. And so,
dude, I knew I can spot a worker a million miles away. Brother was in Roppongi, son.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
And he actually got the Japanese nickname Manuke, which is a word meaning goof off.
Oh.
how have they not put out a jersey in that same the Yakult font, but it says Manuke? Like what?
So good. So Kevin, did you have anything that you
My
wanted to add
goodness,
to?
how am I supposed to top that? So let me tell you what I have a couple little notes here. So you already can see he's a Manuke. Is that what you said it was?
Yeah, Manuke, yeah.
Manuke. So this is definitely part of his past. He'd been in Manuke. Now picture this: 10 years earlier, he is coming up with the Yankees, Cowboy Jack, the biggest team in pro sports, the biggest city in the world, New York City. So yeah, he was living it up, brother, to say the least. Into which he actually ended up getting in trouble. You know, I at least I can find my note here. Of course, I can't find my notes. So in '62, he ended up getting sent to the minors because one night he tried to outsmart his manager named Ralph Hook. So during a June road trip, Pepitone readied himself to skedaddle. I love this. I read this somewhere. Get back to his room at 1:30 a.m. when Hawk and Yankees GM Roy Haney came out of the elevator as Pepitone headed in. He said, "Oh, I'm looking for Phil Linz, who was his roommate." And so, of course, they found Linz in bed there since midnight and getting sent to the minor leagues.
Wow.
So apparently he was already known for being a city slicker, if you will, a good man just going out there and getting it. So let me tell you about his haircut too. So, he had that crazy curly hair. So once in the minor leagues, it got shorn, not voluntarily. He refused a mandate to get a haircut in the minor leagues. So the manager of this minor league team literally took matters into his own hands and clippers to ensure that Pepitone got the shorter locks.
Wow.
How about that? That actually happened to him.
Wow.
A fun thing I found out of him growing up, he actually played on the Nathan's Hot Dog semi-pro team when he was in high school. How about that? And let's see. So, Jack, let me tell you about the end of his life because we're saying, it looks like this guy lived a great life. Unfortunately, including he was actually the first player known to bring a hairdryer to his locker. There you go. There's some fun facts. You got to take care of that great mane of hair. But all that fun and shenanigans, Cowboy Jack, that can come at a cost, right?
Dude, trust me.
All right, you know. So, he had some, things happen in his life, maybe a drug possession charge here and there. And
Whoops.
He had a bar and a hair salon with his name on it, mind you.
Wow.
During his career, both of those went down. Now, apparently some drugs being dealt at the bar, it's kayfabe, right?
Let's not give him a hard time about a drug possession charge. I mean, let he without sin cast the first stone. We all got a few drug
marriages, 5 kids, relationship with these kids, But Jack, I'm in this on a good note. He found his way through life through therapy. Back when he was playing, mental health had been something like mocked upon, and so he finally realized, what? At the quote, he said, "I began seeing a psychiatrist and I learned that I'm bipolar. Then I rebuilt my relationships with my family. I'm closer to my second and third wife and 3 of my children. I'm in a long-term relationship of 12 years. This is as of 2018. So, this is a few years ago. With a wonderful woman named Irene Thomas. So, you know what? He's been sober since 2000, and he made himself a better man through bettering himself through mental health and through therapy. So, glad it looked like he had a good end stretch of his life. And Jack, I know you are definitely an advocate for taking care of yourself mentally. So let's give a rest and power cheers to Mr. Joe Pepitone.
Definitely. Thank you.
And with that, Jack, we might have to do a hazy history on this guy.
Dude, I'm saying we're doing we got to do a 1-hour Clash of Champions on this, brother. This is this is what we're doing after Marge Schott. I mean, that's it.
Yes.
All right.
Yes, definitely. And I wanted to end on this note because Joe Pepitone was actually a part of pop culture that you may not be aware of, but you're going to find out right now.
The camp ended a few days early. Why? Well, there was an incident. What happened? I punched Mickey Mantle in the mouth. What? Yeah, I punched him, and they took him to the hospital, and then they canceled the rest of the week.
You punched who in the mouth?
Mickey Mantle. happened? Well, we were playing a game, and, I was pitching, and I was really, throwing some smoke. And Joe Pepitone, he was up, and man, that guy, he was crowding the plate.
Wow, Joe Pepitone.
Yeah, well, Joe Pepitone or not, I own the inside of that plate. So, I throw one, inside, a little chin music, put him right on his pants. Because I got to intimidate, when I'm on the mound. Well, the next pitch, he's right back in the same place. So, I had to plunk him.
You plunked him?
Oh, yeah. Well, he throws down his bat. He comes racing up to the mound. Next thing, both benches are cleared, A brouhaha breaks out between the guys in the camp, and the old Yankee players. And as I'm trying to get Moose Scaron off of one of my teammates, somebody pulls me from behind, and I turned around and I popped him. I looked down and, whoa, man, it's Mickey. I punched his lights out. Then Hank Bauer, he's screaming, Mickey, Mickey, what have you done with Mickey? You killed Mickey.
So what'd you do?
Well, I got the hell out of there. Well, I just came back from Mickey Mantle's restaurant.
How could you go in there?
Well, I had to. I had to apologize. I punched Mickey Mantle, my idol. It was eating me up inside.
Well, what happened?
I got down on my knees and I went, go ahead, Mickey, hit me. I'm begging you, Mickey, please, hit me. Come on, hit me. I love you, Mickey, I love you.
So what'd he do?
Well, the four of them, they picked me up by my pants and they threw me outside right into a horse.
Wow.
Wow.
Joey Pepitone, dude. Wow.
So good.
Look at that, man. That is 60s right there. Man.
This is the 60s right here.
Oh, yeah.
That is
Oh,
not,
I know.
that is not Liam or Noel Gallagher. That is the 60s.
Michael, you are my Wonderwall. Well done.
Nice.
I'm a rock and roll star. Cheers to rest in power to Joe Pepitone. Thank you so much. So, guys, that is this episode of the Baseball Brew Crew podcast. We have a rip and review this Saturday, March 18th. Angelo is going to be opening up Panini Elite Extra Edition Baseball. Then next week, he's going to be opening up Panini Prism Draft Picked Baseball. And so check that out. That's going to be on Saturday at 6 a.m. Pacific time. And this is where you can check us out on the socials. This is Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Twitch, and TikTok. Guys, any last words before we sign off for this week?
I just want to say, definitely check out Rip and Review. Angelo does such a good job, and he has turned my son into a card opener, and it is a maddening hobby, but it's all because of Angelo, and it's great. Love the episodes, and thank you so much for joining. Like, subscribe, and follow if you can. It's a small little effort, but it means a lot to us. Thank you so much for coming. Thank you so much for watching the Diamond Exchange, the crown jewel of craft beer and baseball history. Thank you.
I got to follow you all the time, and I don't like having to follow you. Hey, another little small favor. If you go to Amazon and buy your goods like I do, go to beerbaseball.com, click on affiliates, find that little thing on the side to Amazon, click on there, shop as you normally would on Amazon, but then a little bit will come back to the blog to make sure we continue to make great shows for everybody.
Exactly. Thank you so much. Yeah, go to our socials, subscribe to us. We're going to be putting out more content. That definitely helps us. Everything that you do, those little things help us grow. Get your friends, get 10 of your friends. Let's get to 1,000 subscribers. We want to be a YouTube player. So any help you can do in that realm, we would definitely appreciate it. Cowboy Jack is going to send you out dollar bills in the mail.
$1 person. You show me a verified subscriber, I mail you $1, baby.
Doll hair?
Dollar. A crisp American dollar.
Wow.
So
do we know what
thank
denomination?
You so much. Yes.
Oh, okay.
Thank you so much. I will be in Houston next Tuesday for the Baseball Brew Crew podcast. I will see you there. We're going to have a lot of fun stuff next week. Guys, for Cowboy Jack Durango, for Kevin Lyon, I'm Michael Mondragon. We'll see you next week. Good night, everyone. Take care.